So far, we were working on creating the table view that's going to drive this table view controller. And we need that to add the deselect. So we were at the cell, and now what happens whenever we deselect it? So we just override the method that deselect. So that's table view, and let's look for the deselect. So this one, did select row, okay? And whenever we select the row, what do we do? Well, we have to bring the thread, right? So we'll do like let selected thread is equal to mock threads at index path.row. So we are getting the thread, and then to do, so print, let's just print selected thread, and that would be the selected thread dot person name. And here to do, bring the thread conversation details, right? So like all the messages, right? That's what we need to do next. All right, but let's go ahead and start to do some connections here. First, I need some mock data because our data here, the mock thread is empty. So let's add some data. Okay, so I can remove the to-dos because we are doing it now. I'm going to do something simple. I'm not going to have any images just yet. I'm just going to create a thread. And inside of the thread, I'm going to give an ID. Let's say 1, and then ribbon color dot red, or let's put orange, right? Dot orange, and person name, I'm going to call it John Doe. Jessica, let's just put Jessica for now. Yeah, so I'm going to copy and paste this a couple of times so that we have many threads, right? So 1 thread, 2 threads, 3 threads. So that would be ID1, ID2, ID3. Here, let's do dot color blue and dot green. And so Vanessa and Stephanie. There we go. All right, so we have 3 threads, and it's complaining because, yes, I have an extra semicolon that I don't need. There we go. All right, so now that's going to go away. So we have the threads, and the next step is to do the connections, right? So let's go ahead and go inside of the main and connect this. So this table view controller, go to the class here, the custom class, and here select the thread list view controller. Okay, let's give it a name, the storyboard ID. Let's call it the same, thread list view controller. We don't need that right now, but it's good to have, and use the same storyboard ID, right? And now we want to make sure that the table view is connected correctly. So select the connections. Okay, it already has that. Perfect. Now the view, well, the new referencing outlet, we can probably just do the connection here. Well, actually, no, we don't need that because we're not using it. But for the table view cell, very important, select the table view cell and make sure we have a reuse identifier here. And what is the reuse identifier? Well, if you go to the thread list view controller, you see that the identifier is thread cell. So copy this and paste it here inside of the reuse identifier. Excellent. And now let's make sure we have the connections. So select the thread color and go to the connections and connect this to the thread cell here. And well, it's not showing because we need to make sure that the thread cell is the correct class. So click on the class here, and instead of a UI table view cell, select the thread cell. All right, so automatically it knows to connect. Okay, so now if I go to the thread color, it knows that this label, the thread color, should be connected. Look, I'm going to drag and drop the referencing outlet to the thread cell, and I'm going to select the ribbon view, right? Perfect. And this one where it says Samantha, you can rename it to here person name label. All right, and you can drag and drop this to the thread cell, and that would be the name label. There we go. Okay, so we have the connections. We should be good. Now I'm going to press run, and let's see what happens. It might break, it might crash because we might be missing some connections, and that's totally fine. Let's take a look. So now it's installing on the simulator. So give it a second. And if there's any problems, it will tell us what the problem is. So I'm going to go to the thread list view. You can put breakpoints here to see if it's working as intended or not. But there we go. It's loading. And look at this. We didn't even have a problem. It's loading perfectly. And we have all the names. Obviously, if you click, nothing's going to happen. But that's what we need to do next. Because, we need to bring the thread conversation details later. All right. Isn't that amazing? Good job all on following so far.